What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. It is episode number 61. We are back on the back of the rebuild. Yeah, we've now made 10 new signings with Bologna for our first season in charge here with the Italian side. We had an opening day draw to Cagliari, and today, with 2 weeks to go to the window slam shut, we had a draw for the Europa League phase, more Serie A games, and you know, I still think there's 1 or 2 signings to come, you know. I don't think we're done for transfer business yet. Yeah, looking at the team right now, obviously, I like the front three, I must say. Youngster and the 2 players in their prime, and then of course the midfield trio, again a couple of players in the prime. And then we brought in a young lad Sarkisian and Bellini as well, and the back line too. We've got the young lad Kovacevic, and of course our new starting keeper as well. I'm liking it, but I worry about the depth. You know, we've got problems with injuries, but again, we like that because it's realistic. I still think we could do with 1 or 2 more signings, but what I might do is jump into our second game. That's our first one at home this season. Take on Roma and then assess the situation after that. Although there is a bid for Pacho from the Gunners. Now, any other season, I wouldn't stand in his way. Premier League money, of course, don't get me wrong. Arsenal are going after a Bologna centre-half. Where have I seen this story before? But I think with us being in the Europa League and Arsenal not in European football altogether this season, I had no plans to sell him, you know. Can we bring back Calafiore? Has he moved on? Has he gone from the Gunners? Because that wouldn't actually be a bad little swap deal there. Bringing back Ricardo, they're the same age, of course. And he's at Juve now. Oh, he ain't going to want to come to us. Now he's in Turin. We don't need to sell Pacho. And again, because Arsenal aren't in Europe, I feel like I have more weight here. Well, the 2 centre-halves I would look to replace him with currently play for Atalanta and Newcastle. And they're both in the same competition as us, which is the Europa League. And so I think we'd have enough to possibly try and prize them away from their clubs right now. Well, maybe not Newcastle because of the Premier League money. I think you know who the Atalanta centre-half is. I don't know why I'm trying to be coy. You know it's Scalvini. But I didn't plan to sell Pacho. That's the thing. At 28 in the prime of his career right now, it would be a shame to let him go. But I don't know. Arsenal, Premier League money. They might not be in Europe, but it is tempting. I might have to let him go. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. If it was oh, hang on. Is there another one that's just come in there? There's another one too. Who's that one from this time? It's West Ham, okay, so again, another Premier League side, but not a European side. So I'll think about it. Premier League money, so hard to turn down, I know that, but I had no plans to sell Pacho at all, man. He's such a class centre-half. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll jump into the first game today, our first game at home since joining Bologna. Hopefully get our first win on the board, and then we'll decide what we want to do after that. I'd love to bring in Scalvini from Bologna. I'm just not sure, from Atalanta, I'm just not sure if we've got the money to do so. I guess we'll see. Play the first game today, though. See how we get on. Forza Bologna. Yeah, any other season and Pacho's gone, mate. He's off to the Gunners. But with us being in the Europa League and Arsenal not playing European football at all, I guess that does give us a bit more of an incentive to convince him to stay. But Arsenal are still a far bigger club than ours. If I knew that I could sell him and sign Scalvini, as Michel makes to say, to replace him, I'd do it. But I'm just not sure we'd have the cash, even after, let's say, a £50 million fee agreed with Mikel Arteta. Tough one. Tough one. And I've got to make sure I've got enough first-team quality if we are to be competitive this year. And go for the Europa League and be competitive domestically too. Yeah, don't get it twisted. This is a good Bologna team. But as Michel makes a great close-out save there, it's still going to be one of the underdogs for a top 4 place, let alone a title race in this area. So I've got to make sure I've got enough ability, and Pacho's got that as our best centre-half so far. Oh, blimey, it's a tough old start here, I must say. And the wind once again. Goodness gracious, it is so bad, so hard to play in, man, honestly. Oh, no. That's going to be a gift of a goal, that. 1-2. Michel comes out. Great goalkeeping again. I trust this young lad between the sticks, man. He is going to grow this season. I am sure of it. And that shot is easily saved this time. He's the one to watch, man. I must say, we've got some great young talent here. But he's honestly, he's one of the ones that I'm most excited about, alongside Hassan, of course, and Sarkisian too. He I'm sure is going to be our number 1 for all the years we're here. And to start this season off, man, I'm not really giving him much in the way of protection. This is why I don't want to sell Pacho. One of the only good defenders we've got here, man. It's all on Michel, man. He's just constantly bailing me out right now. My defense has taken a massive, massive hit over the past couple of seasons. And off the line from Coyote. I don't know whether there's been anything tweaked with the patch. Have you guys noticed this? Like, it seems as though in the most recent patch we had, that it does feel like a little quicker. Do you know what I mean? The game feels a little more quicker, somewhat slightly more arcade-like, which is a bit annoying because that's what we were hoping to get away from a bit more. And also defenses get breached a little bit easier too. I don't know if it's just me, but that's the experience I'm finding. This has been tough with a capital T. You know, there are some games where you just say to yourself, let's get it over with. You know what I mean? Let's get it over with and hopefully just try and grind out the 0-0. That is this game. I am really, really struggling out there. As the visitors look for what would be a deserved lead. Got to be honest, Eduardo Bove. Shot comes in once again. It's Michel. This time more of a comfortable save, shoveling it behind. But he has made about 7 saves out there. And you can see why I wanted him ahead of so many other class goalkeepers, man. If he's this good at this age, imagine what it will be when he's in his prime. That's the thing, man. Like, goalkeepers tend to peak, not always, but tend to peak older than outfield players. And so if you've got a young goalkeeper that's already hitting the ground running and looking like a superstar in the making, chances are they're just going to keep getting better and better and better. As once again, it's been all Michel out there, man. Save after save. Looking like Tim Howard or Guillermo Ochoa in the World Cup. And as things stand, we're just trying to grind out the 0-0, man. I just want to get this game over with and claim that point. Man, I just can't play in this wind. I really can't. And I don't want to change the effects and turn off the wind because it's like, it's realistic. You never know what condition you're going to play in, but I can't play in it. I've tried to get to grips with it. I just can't counter it. It's too hard to battle the elements, honestly. Tell you what, though, what a clean sheet. That's one of the best goalkeeping displays I've seen so far in FC25. Michel was literally unbeatable. I don't know about Pacha. It's a difficult one, man. It's a difficult one. Another bid's just come in as well. It's time for Carrazza, who we're not going to get rid of because of the homegrown standings. But we'll see what we can get from Arsenal. I mean, if we can get close to 60 million, I'll probably accept it. But yeah, I'm not sure because I want to make sure that if we do sell him, we've got enough to bring in either the lad at Newcastle right now or Scalvini, who would be my #1 choice. I'm just not sure. I don't think it'll matter either way. If we did get 60 mil, we're probably going to fall short. 60 mil is a lot. It's well over market valuation, and the Gunners don't want to budge on what they're offering. 38.5 mil for a centre-half in the prime of his career right now is an insult, Mikel. Sorry, but you're in no position to fleece me, mate. You're not even in Europe this year. Yes, so it will keep Pacho for the first season, and then look to maybe cash in next year if we're not a Champions League team. Hopefully we will be, but I guess we will find out. So there's still money for 1 or 2 squad players. That was the plan anyway, because I like the first team now. But we'll see how things look on deadline day. So heading into the following game, Hellas Verona away, looking for our first win since joining Bologna. It's not been a terrible start, back-to-back draws and a clean sheet already, but we're going to need to get some wins early on the board if we are to compete with some of the big Italian clubs, knowing that we need to battle amongst them for a top 4 place this season. Trying to get our first win here. It's a golden chance too. Hellas Verona away. Forza Bologna. Yeah, first season, completely new side, rebuilding, new core taking time to gel. Come on, first season. Like we just want to make sure we stay in Europe. The last thing we can do is drop out of the Europa League. But again, qualifying for the Champions League. Go on, Sarkisian. You know you can strike him, as he puts it wide. That is the plan for me. Silverware in the first season will be incredible, but this is a long-term thing, man. If we can get in the top 4 come the end of the season, that's our silverware. I'd love that. If people used to meme Arsenal when they're finishing 4th and they'd say, oh, they've got their token 4th place trophy. But like at the end of the day, to finish in the top 4 in a really competitive division like the Premier League, like the Serie A, that is an achievement when there's so many great teams over the course of a long season. And so, yeah, it's all about taking it in stages. And at that point, that was a good achievement for them. And it certainly would be at this point for us as well. There's Bellini. Needs a teammate. He's got one. Quick little 1-2. Bellini! Denied. And cleared. Still 0-0. Got to get some goals and got to get a win. You want to get that first one on the board as quickly as you can, man. You do not want to leave it too late. Oh, turn, Raimondo. That's the weaker right foot, but it's also the back of the net he's hit. And there is his first since returning to Bologna as well. And this is why I'm not sad about losing Eli Wahi, man, because as good of a striker as he is, I back this guy returning to be our star striker until the young Spanish lad comes back from loan as well. He's got excellent ability, and he's also got a good body on him as well. He's tall, he's strong, and if he can develop a clinical finish as well, I've no doubt he'll get to 15-20 goals in our debut season. That's his first of hopefully many. Don't concede right before the break. Come on. Don't throw away this lead. Michel. Man, he is going to... I don't care, even though the growth appears to be slow. I have no doubt he's going to become one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I am calling it right now. This is why I wanted him above other goalkeepers that are better. I think he's going to become the best shot stopper in the world in a few years. No doubt. I can just see it. Yeah, I know my national team bias is showing a little bit here, but I felt this way about Jude Bellingham. You know, when he was at Birmingham as a kid, you know, just as a boy, I felt that he was going to have superstar potential if he has the right kind of trajectory in his career path. And there was no better club in world football for him to join than Borussia Dortmund. Going there with the reputation they have of playing and developing young talent. As soon as he signed there, I was like, oh, this kid's on his way. Give it 2 or 3 years, he'll be one of the best in world football, no doubt about that. And I feel the same way about Michel between the sticks as well. And maybe this lad too. Sarkisian going all the way, denied. And turn behind for a corner. Still leading by 1. Just got to close this out, man. Close this out. First win on the board and no losses in 3. It's a really decent start, all things considered here, if we can hold on to this. Fuming if we throw away 2 points late here. We've been on top really from the first whistle. Just got to hold on in. There's Zaluski. Oh, what a chance. Koleosho to the right. Sarkisian to the left. You know who I want to get it to? It is the Armenian to wrap it up and give us our first win. And it is came and it is over. And there it is. You never wanted to leave it too late to get your first win. We've got it in Verona. And when I talk about Michel possibly wanting to be one of the best in a few years, this lad as well. In this rebuild era, it's the young lads you want to look out for, man. And he is one of the best. That's game. It's over. It's Sarkisian's second of the season. And it is the dagger as well on the break. First win and 5 points taken for a possible 9. Yeah, for our new rebuild era, it's not a bad start. And so as deadline day is here, well, Calafiori might be on his way to West Ham now. Am I going to have this negotiate with Cancellieri task always here? Like, mate, he negotiated weeks ago. He's my player. Yeah, I don't know what to do, really, because if we aren't going to sell Pacho, I mean, there's 34 million in the budget, but I might just keep it. Again, I've got no problem with the first 11. Slight concern about the squad depth, but really, that's it. Yeah, I'll back the boys. I'll back the boys full time, man. I mean, this is a good first 11, and again, it's only going to get better over the course of the season because it's a young team. Yes, you've got a few players in their mid to late 20s like Casadei and Fabian and Pacho, but you also got the young talents like Michel and Kovacevic and Sarkisian too. It's just a lack of squad depth, really. And again, if you do want to go far, that's it for me. So, who would we need for in terms of a squad player? Maybe a squad fullback, or maybe a squad forward possibly, because, you know, if Raimondo goes down, we've got no one else to lead the line. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of bringing back Xerxes, don't get me wrong, but now 29 years old, doesn't quite match the philosophy of the rebuild here, and a bit out of our price range anyway, to be fair. So I think I might just leave things as they are, you know, leave the money to carry over until January, see if any deals are available, and keep the squad as is. I trust it. The only thing that concerns me is the lack of squad depth. For the first 11, no, I still think, even in the competitive division, we're good enough to battle for a top 4 place. Yep, I say leave things as they are. You know, one player I do want to look for, though, is there was a midfielder that made in the same mould as David Hassan, the central midfielder that we got through the academy with Ipswich. Don't know why it's so hard to say that, but yeah, you might notice that sometimes, like, you know, players are made of the same mold, and it's this lad here. No, it's not. It's this lad here, Sam. Oh my god. Well, I've got to get a scout report on him right now, playing for Athletic Bilbao. But yeah, sometimes you'll find that, like, when you've got a player that you've put in the game yourself in the youth scouting, a player gets made in the same mold for the same AI club. Oh my word. Goodness gracious. That was me thinking Moses Hassan was the best Tanzanian player in world football. Turns out that lad's developed even more so. It's annoying how, like, when you've got a world-class player like that, you don't have a full scout report on him anymore, just from the get-go. It's like, how can you not know how good the guy is? He's clearly Ballon d'Or worthy. And there is another offer for Dominguez from Atalanta, but again, like us, a Europa League side. So for now, we'll keep hold of him and possibly sell in. Although then again, I guess we could sell him. Hold on. We'd have to get a bit more money, but there's a lad out at Valencia right now. In fact, I showed you a moment ago who I'm quite keen on. We're overloaded on the wings. We could do with a new striker. So if we sell Dominguez for let's say £40 million, which I'd say is fair in this market, 40 mil. Atalanta, yeah. If that deal gets over the line quickly, I've got my replacement lined up already. Has it gone through? Final hour needs to go through now. Otherwise, oh yep, there we go. Coming in clutch. Dominguez off to Atalanta. I like the look of him with the signings of Cancellieri and Hassan and Koleosha. And don't forget, we've still got Abansky who's currently injured right now. He's barely going to play. So with that money coming in, 40 mil plus our original budget, yep, I've already got my replacement lined up. It is that striker out of Valencia right now. And if we've got enough money to bring him in, we've got a solid player to come off the bench when Raimondo's too tired. Let's go bring him in. Yep, should have enough money. Again, 23 years old. 84 overall already and absolutely rapid, but also could definitely play with the stats here. I love the 90 stamina on this forward, but also you look at the technical stats here: 86 ball control, 77 dribbling, 83 long shots, but also 90 short pass. I don't see why this guy couldn't play as an inside forward as well on that right hand side, but also the 5-star weak foot, either flank really. So yeah, let's bring him in. I must say this guy looks absolutely phenomenal. And let's make him our final signing of what has been an incredibly busy window. It'll be our 11th signing. We'll definitely have to pay us slightly over the valuations. Let's go 45 mil. Oh, maybe not then. Can I give them the striker Okonkwo, who seems that he'll be here till retirement? 40, let's go for 46 mil. Tension bar didn't fill up much. 46 mil plus Okonkwo. They don't want him at all. We should be able to get him down in that case to 47 million. Leave us a bit of cash to carry over for the new season or January. And there we go. This kid looks like another great young talent to come in here for the rebuild. Yeah, maybe not quite as good as Amine Adli yet, but perhaps in a few years he'll be just as impactful as the Moroccan that was Ipswich Town star, because Amine Sissoko has got some phenomenal stats and is just 23 years old as well. I said maybe coming off the bench for Raimondo. I've got a feeling he should be starting, really. Yeah, welcome to the Estadio Renato Dell'Ara. Amine Sissoko, and these stats are very impressive indeed for a 23-year-old, and a 90 stamina is the chef's kiss, cherry on the top for Joxy boy, especially now it's getting better. Stamina is my favourite stat, man. I absolutely love it. So again, there isn't really a concern with this guy, not one bit. As a finisher, he's elite. He's got decent shot power as well, and he can pass too. When we signed Amine Adli, we said as good creatively as well as goal scoring. This guy looks very similar indeed. I'm keeping on balance, and I think this guy could definitely get to the high 80s, no doubt about it. We got a new star here to add to the others. Question is, does he start? Does he start? I mean, Raimondo obviously got his first goal of the season in that last game. I mean, you know, for sure, Heung-min Son's not going to be featuring much, but is it Sissoko or Raimondo? For the rebuild, you'd say the Malian youngster should start, but Raimondo, we promised him first team football on the return. Hard to give up on that promise just 3 games in. I guess we'll see, and I'll try and keep them happy, both happy if we can. So that's going to do it. That is going to do it for deadline day. And as you see, the top deals in the top deals in the year were Araujo, new gen leaving Brighton to Barca for 111.7 mil. João Neves has also left Brighton, had a bit of a clear out there at the Amex to Newcastle for 106.1 mil, and Malera, who grows brilliantly in this game, has now left Spain, Atletico Madrid to join Southampton for 95.1 mil. So all the Premier League sides in action on deadline day, and that will do it. So we've just done a draw for the Europa League phase. As we know, unfortunately can't get it the old-fashioned way on that right hand side anymore, but I'll show you the fixtures for who we've got. There's some really interesting ones in there and some fun ones too. We start off with NEC in the Dutch League first, then we got Real Betis at home, then we're away in Scotland off to Perth to take on St Johnstone, then we've got Bodo, then Villarreal away. That's going to be a tough one there. Aston Villa at home. That's the big one I was waiting to show you. Aston Villa at home in our final 2, PSV, and away in Sweden against Malmo. Tough teams, Tough fixtures, but I think we should be targeting a top 8 place. Right, let's do one more game, and we'll end on this, on the back of back-to-back clean sheets and our first win of the season, returning back to Bologna to welcome the champions, the old lady Juve, starting off with a 100% 3 wins from their first 3 games. I'm not even thinking about the championship this season, I'm just thinking about top 4, but if we are to be in a Champions League place, beating teams that normally do finish in a top 4 place will be massive, massive bonuses. Let's try and get our first win at home this season and a big 3 points to close the episode out. Forza Bologna. Massive fan of Juve's third kit this year, by the way. You know, I'm a bit of a kit nerd, and oh, it's clean, really, really clean. Kind of reminds me of the French national side's home shirt, but yeah, it's really clean. Or not the latest one, but the one before. But yeah, it's so clean, so clean. It's Dusan Vlahovic. Speaking of clean, plays a brilliant through ball, but who's there to make the stave? Coming quick off his line, Leonardo Michel. Man, this is a keeper. Quite literally, he is a keeper, man. Seriously. What a stop to keep it at 0-0. Patrick, win that. That's a crunching aerial duel. You can just tell sometimes when a player goes up for an aerial duel, you know when they go down, they're going to stay down. That, to me, could be a bruise or slightly longer. And like I said, that's the one concern about this team, a lack of depth. When a star player goes down, there's a lot of concern. That's a poor pass. Hassan. Yes, come on! First in Bologna colours for the Tanzanian winger, Moses Hassan, with the opener and Bologna in front. That's why I bought him. That's why I really signed him. I said in this team, unlike it is, which you'll always be starting, it's taken him 4 games, but there's his first goal for his new club. 1-0, Bologna in front before the break. In terms of starts to the season, realistically, this was about as good as we possibly could have hoped for, man. Okay, it's not been picture perfect, but no losses in our first 4 games, 3 straight clean sheets, back-to-back wins, 8 points taken for a possible 12, and already beating the champions for our first win at home this year. It's worse starts, you know? I'm certainly not going to say no to all of that. Very good turnaround on the back of the opening day draw. And these points appear to be in the bag. Juve haven't really put us under much pressure, to be honest here, other than that one save for Michel early. As he finds Casadei. Sarkisian, you know he can strike him. Oh, just wide. Wait, was it Juve who were champions in the end, or AC Milan? Because do you remember we had the disparity with the league table? We couldn't tell whether it was Milan who won it or not, as they look for a last-second leveler. Javi Guerra puts it over, and that is going to do it. Well, if they were champions or not, they'll be aspirational champions this year, and we've just got our first win at the Renata Diarra since joining Bologna as well. Statement made to the other big sides in the Serie A. Yo, you might be in rebuild mode, but there's no reason why we can't be competitive this year for domestic honours as well as the Europa League. And that'll do it for today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So big thank you for watching the video. If you have enjoyed it, if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and we'll return in the next one with our first games in the Europa League phase this season, and more games in the Serie A as well, as we aim to stay where we are right now, competing for a top 4 place with an outside shot at that Serie A title. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.